I'm using my tongue to stop the airflow, which brings out like a ambiguous sounding low pitch. What's up everybody, it's Adam Meckler, back again with another trumpet video. I'm in my office here at Michigan Technological University, where I'm the Director of Jazz Studies. Today we're gonna talk about how to swing, and in particular we're gonna talk about how to do those ghosted notes that you see in your music, both when you're reading music and you see a note with parentheses around them like this one, or when you're just improvising and you want to tie lines together, you want to give it a feel, you want to get the feeling of swing happening a little heavier in your playing and in your improvising. Ghosted notes will really help you take that swing feel and amplify it a little bit. Before we get started, hit like, hit subscribe, and comment and let me know what kind of topics you'd like me to cover on this series. There's one really big rule regarding learning to swing. It's in some ways the easiest and it's the hardest. You have to be listening to this music all the time. You have to listen to jazz music all the time. Seek out the players that you feel swing the hardest or that you like they're playing the most and absorb them as much as you can. Pick one album and listen to it over and over until you can sing every solo. And then try and learn those solos. After you can sing those solos, try and learn them on your horn. The very first album I did that with was the Miles Davis album, Kind of Blue, which is all-time best-selling jazz record for a long time. I'm not sure if that's still the case. Miles released his seminal album in 1959. It was a really important record, and the playing on it is wonderful. And Miles Davis's solos are accessible. They're solos that an intermediate level trumpet player could learn. But generally speaking, with a couple of octave adjustments, you can learn a lot of great Miles Davis solos from that album. So number one, listen, 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 listen. And I say it's the easiest because, you know, it doesn't actually take real practice. What it takes is focus. It takes active listening. So you have to be listening to a record and really be paying attention to what you're listening to, rather than having it on in the background, working on homework, or having it on in the background and cooking dinner. Have moments set aside for listening to music without your phone around and without the TV around. I still accomplish this every day as much as I can. I try to get some time where I'm just focusing on the music that I'm listening to. What this will do is this will create a ripple effect. You'll get better and you'll fall more in love with the music. And that's really what it's about. It's about falling in love with the music and really letting it get all up in your blood, like Miles Davis said, right? You have to listen to it enough that it becomes a part of you, and that it becomes a part of how you speak the language of music. So for me, early on, Louis Armstrong, Clifford Brown, Miles Davis, those were my three go-to trumpet players. Early college, I discovered Roy Hargrove, and Roy Hargrove became a huge influence on me and how he feels the groove of the music while he's playing. In that hard bop tradition, right, in that like Lee Morgan, Freddie Hubbard tradition, but in his own modern soulful way, it just became a big source, a big well of inspiration and energy for me to listen to Roy Hargrove. So listening, number one, listening, that's the biggest thing. But ghost notes is a tool that we can talk about, an actual technique on the horn that you can start to try and perfect. So one of the things that I'm doing when I'm playing lines like that is ghosting notes. I'm using my tongue to stop the airflow, which brings out like a ambiguous sounding low pitch. It's not really, what it does is it just slows down the buzz speed of my lips and then brings out this pitch. It's an ugly sound if you hold it, but when you do it in context of a fast line, if you do that quickly, so what I'm actually doing, almost putting the tongue between my teeth, but actually it's hitting the back of my teeth, and I'm kind of letting a little bit of air through, but I'm letting the tongue stop the back of my top teeth. It's like the tip of my tongue. And I'm kind of letting air out the sides of my tongue, which ends up slowing down the buzz. There's that great Clifford Brown tune, Joy Spring. So instead of tonguing every single note, which to me sounds like way too much tongue, and I'm choosing, there's some natural notes that just stick out that I want to punch a little bit harder. Sometimes that's higher notes, sometimes that's notes that are on the upbeat. So you can see I'm using my tongue to stop the air a little bit, slow down the buzz speed on my chops, and get this weird ambiguous pitch to come out. But when you're playing and you're trying to reach from high to low, you don't actually have to make all that movement happen. A lot of times, those low pitches end up being ghosted anyway. And I do a lot of ghosting when I'm just reading charts, even when it doesn't say to do it. And that's something that only comes with listening. You can only know correct places to ghost notes if you've listened to enough music and you can hear when those players ghost notes. If you're playing in a big band that plays a bunch of Count Basie and Duke Ellington, you should be listening to Count Basie and Duke Ellington. Each of those bands has a unique personality and a unique way that they feel swing. One exercise that you can try is you can just start on C in the staff and you can go down chromatically to say E and then back up to C again, trying to ghost every single note in this way. Once you get it happening at a slower tempo, then you can start to speed it up. Thanks so much for sticking around. That's it for today. Hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can be notified every time I release a video. I'm putting videos up, educational videos like this, every Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thanks.